My name's Susan Kwan, and I'm 27. I'm Korean American. My parents immigrated here when they were in college, and they came with my grandparents. But I pretty much grew up in Chicago, so I consider myself. When people ask me like, "Oh, where are you from?" I know they're trying to ask me, well, like what country I'm from or what my nationality is, but I just identify with myself as being American. Or, I say I'm from Chicago, and some people even have the nerve to be like, well, where are you really from? I think that affects a lot of my perception in terms of goals that I have, and also just some cultural expectations that my family expects of me. Long term goal, education has always been really important, but it seems like as I get closer to my 30s, some of the expectations that are put on me, it's definitely changed to having my own family, and it's something that I would want long term, but I feel pressure coming from mainly my parents, and it has to do with age too. They'll tell me stuff like, oh, you have to get married before you're 30 because you have to have babies. Then they'll go into things like criteria for my husband. He has to be tall because you're short and you don't want to have short babies. So it gets pretty specific, and I can kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's kind of hard because I feel like I want to go against that in a lot of ways, but family is really important to me, and it's hard not to hear their voice in the background when I'm making big life decisions. Professional life, work has always been really important to me. Whenever I've had a relationship, I feel like if something comes up with work or my job, that's always what I go to first. And I know that's something that I need to work on if I do want to have a family one day, just because I will put my job before my family and friends sometimes. Lately, I've been better at that. In terms of happiness, I don't really believe in happiness being a goal in life. I think it's more joy, because happiness is something that is moment by moment. And I could be happy, over like having a good dessert. But then I'll be hungry again in, a few hours. So in terms of happiness, I would replace that with joy, because happiness is really just momentary and superficial stuff. And that's something that I address in my own artwork as well. Joy, I think, is something that you can't really take away. Like, something could be really bad in your life, but you could still have joy. And I think that comes also with spirituality and faith in God as it pertains to my own life. I feel like I have a bigger purpose in just doing my work, going to school, being a good friend or being good to my family. So I guess that has to deal with purpose. So I was having dinner with my friend the other night, and she's Indian and I'm Korean, and we're both talking about some of the similarities that we face as minorities, specifically minority women. I feel like there are extra challenges that we face in that I think being white is a privilege in the society, so there are specific expectations that are put on us because of our culture, even if we were born in the States. And a lot of that might have to do with pride and also saving face, and just how, keeping up appearances, like not making a fool of yourself. But also, I would say my parents' definition of success is different from my own definition of success. I think for myself, like I don't believe everyone has to get married. I don't believe everyone has to have children. I don't think that everyone has to reach certain benchmarks in order to be successful. But I think culturally, that's what's expected of me, and I know that if I don't follow through with that, either by choice or just because it never happens for me, that secretly, even if they would never tell it to me, that I probably would not be considered successful.